Alright, this video is going to discuss the screen, the display of our injector, and what's on there and what does it all mean. So at the bottom left, the first thing would be the idle status. That's our status right now. Because the switch is off, the system is idle. If you're going to make a delivery, you turn it on, you can see the status has changed to injecting. So that's the first item. Another item here is this has an electronic tank gauge. So this is the level of additive in the additive tank. We've got a sensor in there, so this will move up and down as you would expect. When it gets down to where it's almost empty, this will begin to flash. So that's the tank gauge part of it. On the top left is the diesel count. You may be using gas, but generally it's diesel. And next to that is the number of gallons. So as you pump diesel fuel to your customer and your LCR2 or Midcom or whatever you're using clicks off the gallons, this diesel count should match exactly the LCR2. That lets me know that the controller is accurately seeing the fuel you're pumping, which is very important for us to accurately put in the additive. We have to know what you're pumping. The next entry is the name of the additive that you're pumping and how much of that have you pumped. That is an actual amount. It's not an ideal or a target. That is how much is actually moved. The target entry is the calculated ideal amount. So, you know, if I've done 1,000 gallons of diesel, the target often will be 1.000 because most additives are 1 to 1,000. The entry that says the additive name hopefully also says 1.000, but it might say something slightly different, 0.985 or 1.004. Those two numbers will be used to calculate the accuracy. So the entire time this is being used, it's continually judging its own accuracy. So you can always look, and without having to do the math, you can see that we're 100% accurate or 90% or 40% or whatever. And then the last entry, speed, is a representation of how hard we are running our additive pump to keep up with your flow rate. The only other thing that will show up on the screen is the preload. If you're going to use a preload, it'll be populated on the screen right there. If you're not going to use the preload, it's not there. It's, again, that's a one-use item. It turns itself off whenever you use it. So that's all the information on the screen. If there would be an alarm occur, you should have a pretty plain English alarm on the screen to read. And then you've got your pump activity light and a valve activity light. The valve activity light is only used on most of these systems as an alarm. If you go into an alarm status, these will blink. However, there are some systems that have valves, and in those systems the valve light will light up whenever the valve is opened. So that's the user interface.